be honest, I just thought it was going to be another checkbox on my resume, but I knew from the first day that it wasn't that, and I thought, crap, this is actual work that I have to do on myself. It's not something I just show up to the class and leave. Really self-discovery, things that I hadn't really spent time doing previous to this. So it was a happy surprise, but also a big gut check in what I really needed to do to move to the next step in my life. My name is Schoffelman, and I am the community program manager for Avera. So a lot of what I'm doing is new to me. I recently have been given a promotion, which is very exciting, but I will be managing a community site that will house 3 community health workers that will really connect people with community resources and health resources and connect them with the healthcare system itself. So before 2008, I was just sort of living a general life. I had a really difficult childhood, and so I was happy to be out of that space and just living my life. So I didn't do anything grand. I always felt like I was maybe not living up to my potential and that God was maybe whispering a little bit to change my life. And so instead of me listening, he sent a different literal vehicle. So I was crossing the street to go into work, and a car was driving 40 miles an hour and hit me as I was crossing in the crosswalk. But I totaled the car, so I won the fight. I had a lot of injuries. I ended up being treated at Avera, and I had 2 years of physical therapy. I was in surgeries, 6 surgeries, 6 broken ribs, a punctured lung, a skull fracture. My physical therapist said, people that have this many injuries generally don't go back to work. And I was thinking, that is a terrible life. That sounds awful. So not going to do that. I went back to school. I was working full-time. I was going to school full-time. I earned my bachelor's in healthcare management. And then I applied at Avera and was hired. The accident itself changed my entire life. I wasn't the same person that I was before I crossed that street that day. It challenged me in ways that I had never been challenged before, physically, mentally, emotionally. It really reset my entire life. It just flipped me literally and just changed the person that I was. I knew that the person that I was before I stepped across that street was not the same person that left the hospital 20 days later. Leaders of Tomorrow really challenged me to look at myself. It wasn't the traditional leadership development. To be honest, I just thought it was going to be another checkbox on my resume. Show up, learn difficult conversations, how to manage people, and all of that. But I knew from the first day that it wasn't that, and I thought, crap, this is hard. This is actual work that I have to do on myself. It's not something I just show up to the class and leave. I was really happy that it wasn't what I expected it to be. Part of pushing myself was to really commit time every day to not just thinking about my interactions with other people, but thinking about why I did certain things or said certain things. And it turned out that the voice in my head that we all have, mine is a jerk. And so it just told all of the negative stories from that childhood of mine that wasn't great and was difficult. And so I learned that was feeding into my experiences, that was feeding into my lack of pushing myself past a certain point. The person I was as a child really built who I was at that point in my life. And that I learned that I had the opportunity to change that. I had the opportunity to make different decisions and do things differently going forward. And that's a powerful thing for us to be able to step into that and be open to questioning ourselves, not just trying to find blame in other people. We hear it all the time in LOT that often people just like to live the average life, and people are fine with that. And I knew going into it that that's not something that I wanted to push past what was average for me. And what that meant for me was challenging the status quo of all of the people and things that were around me. And that's been something that I've felt like has been the biggest gift for me is the ability to influence not only the people around me, but the community itself. I really, really want others to feel seen and heard and know that they matter, because I know what it feels like not to. I do facilitate 2 Toastmasters speaking groups. So I do one in the maximum security area of the prison, and then one in just on the hill, which is the non-maximum security. So we work on communication, and leadership skills and really understanding how to present things to people. And I've asked the guys several times, why are you in Toastmasters? And a few of them said, I really want to learn how to talk to the parole board. If I have to talk to the parole board and explain why they should let me out, I don't know how to do that. That's terrifying. One of the guys said he really wanted to learn how to talk to his kids because his kids were scared of him when they would come in to visit. And that always touches my heart because I think, man, people are just people. And these are just individuals that have done a crappy thing, made a bad decision, and now are paying the price for that. But that doesn't mean that they need to be 100% defined by that decision. It's been important for me to make sure that these folks aren't the invisible part of our community. They're often forgotten about because they're on the hill, they're away from us, they're not in our communities, but 95% of people that are in prison will get out someday. And so my goal is to really help people as they're in to really prepare themselves for what life is when they get out. Since LOT, I've been able to say, the permission I am giving myself is to step into whatever that looks like, good, bad, or otherwise. But I also know that people listen to the things that I have to say, and that I'm doing things based on the values that I really created in myself through Leaders of Tomorrow. Mine are humility, integrity, service, commitment, compassion, and joy. And if I make a decision, that's what I'm making it based on. So because I have that solid foundation, I'm able then to step confidently into those decisions that I'm making. I don't love public speaking, but I've been a public speaker now. That's a thing that I have on my list of skills. Some of the things that I've done since LOT was I spoke at CultureCon, I did a TEDx video, I talked at Disrupt HR, and that those people that maybe don't have a voice, don't know how to use their voice, can't do it there, that I can, and I will do that for them. And so the person that I am is just the person that was given permission to be loud. Leaders of Tomorrow has it's such a safe space that they create that allows people to be vulnerable and share in a way that other experiences don't offer, which has been really magical to me. We all can kind of come together from a community, have a common goal, really to improve ourselves individually. There's something incredibly powerful about the folks that go through Leaders of Tomorrow, that they are the doers of the community. They are the people that are stepping up and doing the things, not just talking about someone should do the thing. I also just love how we push each other in ways that just my friends wouldn't even push me to kind of step up and level up. And when we see each other, it's like, what have you been doing? What have you been working on? There are different LOT cohorts, but we're all the same. So we talk about the justice impacted folks, the teachers, the kids from Joe Foss, those folks. We're all LOT grads. So there's just something special about all of us that we can connect with. And also we then have people that we can ask for help when we need it. When we're challenging ourselves in ways that other people don't, that when we fall, it's probably a harder fall. But we also know that there are people that will help us get up and take steps forward. A leader is influence. A leader is having a voice and using it for good, and using it to help other people get to where they want to go. My leadership skills are used to help other people feel seen and heard and know that they matter. It's what needs to happen. And if I have the ability to be a voice for a population of either people or this community, and that's what a leader is to be able to use that voice even when it's uncomfortable. I think anyone that's considering applying for Leaders of Tomorrow should absolutely do it. It has been a life-changing experience for me and has built into the most gratifying experiences of my life. And I would not be the person that I am today without it. So be vulnerable and take that challenge and step into the person that you're meant to be. My name is Angela Schoffelman, and I am continuously thankful for Leaders of Tomorrow. I can't imagine my life without it, and every day it forces me to step into the potential that I have as a human being. Thank you.